The other day I went through 6 different ways to fly and control the new DJI Neo, and in that video I also included controlling it with this, the RC2, that came out with the Air 3 and the Mini 4 Pro last year. Now I've already had a fair few questions asking me which remotes will definitely work with the Neo, and that's not surprising, is it, given how cheap the drone-only package of the Neo is. You can pay just £169 or $199 for the drone and single battery package. So, super quick one today, which remotes will work with the new DJI Neo, and crucially, how to get them paired up and working the first time. I'm in and I play with drones, and having great fun playing with the new DJI Neo and all its different ways that it can be flown and controlled. As I said, quite a few questions on which remotes will definitely work with the new Neo. So without further ado, here is the list. Currently of today, you have the DJI RC N3, which is the new version of the basic remote without a screen. That will work with the Neo, obviously, because it's the one that's shipping with the Neo. But the previous version to this, the RC N2, that shipped with the Mini 4 Pro, that will also work with the Neo. So if you've got the previous version, RC N2, it will work. The RC2 is the newer version of the updated remote with the built-in screen. The RC2 has got the little antennae. That's how you can tell the difference nice and easily. As I showed in the video the other day, this will work and control the Neo as well. Of FPV style flying, you've got the Goggles 3, the Motion Controller 3, and the DJI FPV RC 3. All of those will work with the Neo, and again, I showed that in the video the other day. At the moment though, that's it. They're the only remotes that will work because these are the remotes that use OcuSync 4, and that is what the Neo uses for its video transmission. So that means the Neo will not work with the very first version of the RC N1, and also, very sadly, the first version of the RC remote that had the built-in screen but doesn't have the antenna on. That's what shipped, I think, with the Mini 3 Pro. Also, it will not work with the older Smart Controller or the RC Pro. So that may well be very disappointing for many, but that is just how things stand today. And in truth, I can't see any more remotes becoming compatible. I don't see the Neo being more backwards compatible. It's just the way DJI work, and also it's the limitations, I think, of using OcuSync 4. So that's the list of which ones do work. And if you do have an RC2 or the Goggles 3 and the Motion Controller 3 and the like, then the next step is, of course, how to link them up and get them actually working. First off, you need to make sure that the remote's firmware is up to date, because it needs to be up to date in order to recognize the Neo. Now, I'll be honest, I do all of my firmware updates by linking the device via USB-C to my laptop and running DJI Assist, because I have found this works first time and every time for me in getting the firmware updated. Of course, you need to be running the very latest version of DJI Assist itself, or it won't have Neo compatibility. So, step 1. Go to dji.com/downloads and download the latest version of DJI Assist for your Mac or Windows. Install it and open it up. Then connect the remote with a USB-C lead and power the remote on. When it appears on screen, you'll get the option to upgrade the firmware. Once that's done, you're ready to link it up with the Neo. So, unplug it from the laptop, power on the remote, power on the Neo, and once both have finished starting up, go to the connection guide button on the remote and look for the Neo. You might need to swipe right or left until you see the little picture of it. And when you do, tap it. Now, if you happen to be flying a different model with that remote before, it will pop up a message telling you that it needs to swap the firmware over. It only takes a few seconds, and after that, you're good to connect. If you have never paired the Neo with the remote, then you're going to need to do one more step to pair it up for the first time. Simply long press the power button on the Neo until it goes into pairing mode with the lights flashing and loud beeping. Then do the same with the remote itself. A single long press on the power button until it also goes into pairing mode. With a few seconds, both units should give a confirmation beep and you're done. Paired, ready to fly. Now, that's all you need to know for the RC2. If you are going to be using the Goggles 3 and either the Motion Controller 3 or the FPV RC 3, slightly different procedure. Turn on the Goggles 3, turn on the Motion Controller 3 or the RC 3, and inside the goggles, navigate to Settings, Status, and then go through. You can see the drone model that's currently selected, and above that you'll see the little option to switch. Switch, scroll down and select the Neo. And once that's selected, then again, if it's the first time you're pairing, you're going to need to press and hold the power button on the Goggles 3 itself until it goes into pairing mode. And of course, do the same with the Neo. Remember, you only need to do the long press of the power button the very first time you're pairing the remotes. After that, if it's the RC2, simply tap connection, swap the models that way. And if it's the Goggles 3, then go into settings, status, and swap the models that way. That's it. So hopefully nice and easy for you. And if you do own any of these remotes, then you really are in a position to just buy the drone only option for this, because you will not need to buy or pay for the remote that comes with the Neo if you've already got one of the other ones that's going to work with it. So save your money and buy a couple of extra batteries instead. Look, as ever, if this has helped you, give me a little thumbs up, help the video along. Drop your comments below about the list of remotes included. I always love reading the comments. Finally, definitely need to do another little shout out for the Grey Arrows Drone Club. They're supporting my videos with the DJI Neo. Check out the very best site, I think, in the UK for all things drone, at the Grey Arrows, and also their unfeasibly useful flight location tool called Drone Scene. As ever, I'll drop a link to that below. Look, that's about it. So again, hope you found this useful. Until next time, have fun, happy flying.